Hello everyone, it's Moscow Tesla Club. My name is Igor Antarov, and today we will talk about the events, the hottest news that occurred during the summer 2018. So let's start. And the most outstanding project of the summer is of course our From Russia to Europe project. All journalists constantly ask us about it. I have just spoken at a conference and everyone asked me, is it true that you have installed charging stations along the way to Europe? Yes, it's true, we have charging stations in Vyazma and in Smolensk. We have separate video about the process of their installation. Vyazma is located at a distance of 230 kilometers from Moscow, Smolensk 400. With these stations you can drive to Europe almost non-stop, well, except for stops to have a cup of tea or a meal. What's really great is that after this project a lot of people have contacted us because they want to install charging stations along their roads, from the Pskov region for example. It means that the project lives and develops, and we will keep on adding new roads. A striking example is charging station that we have installed in the city of Vladimir, together with famous vlogger Warpatch. Kirill Petrov, who has bought a car from us, had a plan to drive to Siberia, to his hometown, and we decided to open a road to Siberia as one of the first directions. We have installed a station in the city of Vladimir, so now you can travel there too. Not so many people know that more and more charging stations appear in the city of Moscow. These stations have a capacity of 50 kilowatt, so that in 1 hour you can charge your battery to drive approximately 200 kilometers, and thus travel at a greater distance, faster and more interesting. A great example is a charging station that has been opened in Sheremetyevo airport at the beginning of the summer, and the most interesting thing related to this opening is not the fact that we participated in it, but the fact that Sheremetyevo has provided free parking at the airport for electric cars on the occasion of this event. There are two hot news that I would like to talk about. The first one is our partnership with a big Russian online store Svyaznoy. It's a great partnership. Now you can assemble Tesla in a configurator, then we will receive your order and deliver Tesla to the new owner with a great pleasure. And the second one of the important news, right after we'll record this video, we will fly to the city of Voronezh. Guess why? You're right, to open a new branch office. Probably the most active car with which something all the time happens in Tesla is of course Tesla Model 3. Because it's the car everyone is waiting for, Tesla increases its production rates and develops it actively. A lot happened during the summer. The performance version of the car appeared, the two-engine version of the car appeared, new great functions appeared such as the track mode, special mode of driving on the racetrack. Of course, the most outstanding news in my opinion is about the Tesla Roadster, namely the rocket engine of the Tesla Roadster or SpaceX package. It's an incredible story when Tesla produces a car which already tears the market into pieces and beats other cars on all params. That's the only way to describe it. It's faster than all other gasoline and electric cars and is 10 times cheaper than the models that could compete with it. But it's typical Elon. He releases an incredible product and then says, "Friends, it was a basic version. We'll have the SpaceX package. We'll have a car about which you could say, yes, there's a rocket engine in my car." How will it look like? It will be a rocket engine with a huge compressed air cylinder behind it instead of the two child seats that they are going to place in the Roadster, and an electric pump that will pump the air into the cylinder. Roadster engines will help the car to accelerate, slow down, turn, so it will be an active aerodynamics in the car, which will allow it to do things that are simply physically impossible for other cars. It's a super expected future. It's really interesting to find out more about it, and in my opinion there's a lot to be discussed. This is Rimac. It's the car we adore. Collection car with 4 engines. Boy style, fantastic, very fast. The base model costs $1,300,000, Concept 2 base $1,800,000. Roadster, which is being released now, drives as fast or even faster and costs $200,000 or $250,000. Rimac producing boutique cars has to make great effort to catch up with features that Tesla provides in the mass market cars. The second car which we have seen the least is of course Tesla pickup truck. We already know that the pickup will be huge, both outside and inside. It will be a 6-seater electric car. It will drive 650–800 kilometers and show some incredible results. This car will have an air suspension, 2 electric motors, there will be a socket for electric tools, there will be a separate socket for pneumatic tools. It means that it's some kind of an Uber car for people who work with heavy equipment, who are involved in cargo towing. And we're really waiting for a real prototype, a real presentation. There are several more news about Tesla that pleased us this summer, and which we would like to highlight among the others. The first is, of course, an amazing feature such as the Mad Max mode in Tesla. It means that the autopilot will have an aggression level setting, so that you will be able to adjust how aggressive it should change lanes and behave on the road. Which is rather relevant for Moscow and maybe for China too. Maybe they have developed such setting because Tesla is actively entering the Chinese market. By the way, speaking of China, Tesla has announced that in 2-3 years they will open a factory in China, and it will produce a great number of cars, like 500 per year. Well, maybe not from the very start, but nevertheless. The product spreads around, it won't be produced only in Nevada. When I attended the opening of this factory in Nevada, and what I saw was only the 5th part of the factory, I was shocked. We have a video on YouTube about it. Review of the factory. It's incredible, it's big, huge, fantastic. What also happened is that we saw a new Model X rollover test. You should watch this video. It once again shows that this is the safest crossover in the world. And the video shows it super vividly. What has happened with other electric cars during the summer? Well, I would like to start with my personal joy and my personal pain. Nissan has announced a mini-bus, minivan, call it any way you like it, ENV200. It's an update of the existing car, especially for Spain. It's an electric minivan designed for traveling. It has convertible top, more space inside, even a stove and a fridge can be placed inside it. I would eagerly buy it right now if Nissan wouldn't equip it with 40 kWh battery. How is it even possible? It's a car for traveling. In Tesla Model X there is a 100 kWh battery, and it's a city car, and in a car for traveling there should be at least 120–150 kWh. And the second thing that should be in such a car is a folding solar panel on the roof, because any person who travels in a camper usually puts a solar battery on the roof, even if his camper is gasoline. Sono Motors has presented a small city car, which is almost fully covered with solar panels. During the day, daylight hours, the car will be able to accumulate energy enough to drive 30 kilometers, which is rather good. Sono has already opened a pre-order. They promise to present the car in 2019, and thus we will have fantastic concept of an electric car with solar panels. They do not say anything about its battery's capacity, but the car will be able to drive approximately 250 kilometers. So the situation is the same as with Nissan. I think that Nissan and Sono should become friends, so that Sono would give Nissan its solar panels. And they both should look at Tesla's example and equip their cars with batteries of bigger capacity. Then it will be a dream car. Okay, news about Sono and Nissan are great, but let's see what has happened with other brands. BMW, for example. BMW has stated that the production of the i-Series will increase by 54% by 2020. It means that they will produce 200 cars per day. It's really great and not surprising. According to BMW, the demand grows because they produce good electric cars. I've driven the BMW i3, it's a fantastic car, and in fact we have brought quite a lot of BMW i3s to Russia under the Electric Motors Club brand. Let's see what has happened with other brands. For example, FCA concern has announced that Maserati will become electric. So by 2022, all Maserati will at least have a socket. Also there will be plug-in hybrid electric vehicles, and there will be fully electric cars. It once again confirms the trend that the only winning strategy for premium cars, for the ones that claim to be premium, unique, is to make electric cars. Also, FCA produces Jeeps, and they say that they will have 4 electric Jeeps by 2022. Everyone wants to be electric now. It's really great. The next great news of the summer is about Porsche Taycan. This is the Porsche we've been waiting for so long. This car is deemed as Tesla's competitor because people who are in the Porsche club, they will most likely buy an electric Porsche. The Porsche is famous for its great interior decoration and its attention to details. Besides, it's very interesting to drive an electric car produced by Porsche. There were videos, there were press releases. It'll have 600 horsepower, about 500 kilometers of the run, a motor of the racing prototype. It will be released in early 2019. The next year is going to be very interesting, and everything started this summer. Electric vehicle market grows with great pace. The first quarter of 2018 is 59% bigger than the first quarter of 2017. The one-third of the total United States market accounts for the sales of Model 3. And the situation will become even more and more interesting with time. So subscribe to our channel, follow the news, and now we're leaving to shoot new videos. Good luck!